Good morning everyone and welcome to Headingley for the fourth day of this third test match between Australia and New Zealand. The situation of the match is this: New Zealand are 421 for 7 in their first innings, already 26 runs ahead of Australia's first innings total of 395. If Australia were to win this match, they will make it through to the semi-final, so New Zealand cannot afford to lose if they want to survive in this tournament. We join the action now as Glenn McGrath bowls the first ball of the day to Daniel Vettori. And Vettori is away today with a single down to fine leg. Well, that's a bit short from McGrath, and Martin Crowe has pulled that one to the square leg boundary for 4. This is the last ball of Lilley's over. Oh, and that's out. That's gone straight to Chappell at first slip. Yes, Vettori playing across the line, getting the outside edge, and he is out. Caught Chappell, bowled Lilley for 16, and New Zealand are 428 for 8. And Martin Crowe is out too, straight to Ponting at second slip. Well bowled Glenn McGrath. Yes, Martin Crowe is out. Caught Ponting, bowled McGrath for 81. And New Zealand are 428 for 9. Oh, that's been hammered by Shane Bond. That's 4. Oh, that's a good ball from McGrath. Bond was hopping away from that one. Oh, that's a confident shout by Lilley. What does the umpire say? No! Oh, Lilley can't believe it. Let's have a look at the replay. Yes, that ball just slipping past leg stump. Southey's got that one away. That will be 4. These are very useful runs for New Zealand. Gone. Inside edge onto the pad, and that bobbed up. Alan Border took a simple catch at short leg, and that's it. Tim Southey is out. Caught Border, bowled McGrath for 10, and that is the end of New Zealand's innings. And so New Zealand make 446 in their first innings. Let's have a look at the scorecard, opening up with Glenn Turner and Stephen Fleming, both of whom got very decent scores, a partnership of 224. An excellent innings in the middle by Martin Crowe, 81 very fluid runs, and some nice contributions all the way down the order. 446 is a very good score. For the Australian bowlers, they bowled quite well really. 3 wickets for Lilley, 3 for McGrath, 2 for Gillespie, and 2 for Shane Warne, and let's not forget that fantastic catch when he caught out Brendan McCullum yesterday. And so Australia trail by 51 runs. Warner and Chappell are out in the middle. It is slightly overcast this morning, so it'll be interesting to see how they go against the New Zealand opening bowlers. Greg Chappell is off the mark with a beautiful cover drive. He's such an elegant batsman. Pulled away by Warner, out through mid-wicket, and that will be his first boundary. That looks like an in-swinger from Southey, but Chappell picked it and absolutely powered it through cover. That's 2 straight from Southey. Chappell's got it away. He is off to a flyer. Past the outside edge. The Australians have already removed half the deficit, and Chappell is absolutely flying. And this time, punch down the ground. That will be 4 more. Chappell is really taking a liking to Southey, and that's going to be 4 more, down through third man. 3 fours in a row. Oh, and now he's taking on Hadley. That's a beautiful shot through cover point. Another half volley and another cover drive and another 4. Well, Greg Chappell's really getting Australia off to a flyer. And after only 9 overs, Australia are back in front. Chris Cairns is doing a good job of pulling it back for New Zealand, but that's 4 more. Warner now joining the party. That's 2 full again from Cairns, and Warner's punched it into the gap. That will be another boundary. That's another beautiful shot by Greg Chappell, driving off the back foot through point. And now a full toss by Cairns. Greg Chappell's batting is really making New Zealand go weak at the knees. And that will be his 50. Well, that's a beautiful pickup shot through square leg and 4 more. New Zealand will be afraid that their advantage is flying out of the window with this partnership, as that one goes for 4 more. Oh, that's out. Fleming's taken the catch. That's the wicket New Zealand needed. Shane Bond punches the air in delight. David Warner is out. Caught Fleming, bowled Bond for 33, and Australia are 86 for 1. Beautifully clipped away by Chappell, and that will be 4 more to his score. Well, that was a quick delivery by Shane Bond, and Greg Chappell's been hit. Oh, he doesn't look in a good way. Well, the New Zealanders do look concerned. And Greg Chappell is walking off the field. He is going to have to retire hurt on 57. Let's hope it's not too serious. And that will be lunch on day 4. Australia have motored along to 94 for 1. Let's have a look at the scorecard. Warner the only wicket falling, out for 33, but Greg Chappell also having to leave the field with a bit of an injury. We're not quite sure what the injury is. We'll wait until we hear from the Australian dressing room. Hopefully it's not too serious. Ponting and Smith are at the crease. For the New Zealand bowlers, they have been quite expensive this morning. They will need to tighten their lines and lengths and try and keep this Australian second innings total in check. Well, that's a beautiful shot by Ricky Ponting, and that brings up the 100 for Australia. Well, that wasn't quite timed by Ponting, but it's still going to make it to the boundary. Well, that's beautifully bowled by Richard Hadlee. That moved back into Ponting. The umpire's given it out. Yes, another important wicket for New Zealand. Ricky Ponting shuffling back and across, and he's been caught out plumb in front. He is out. LBW to Hadlee for 13, and Australia are 106 for 2. Shane Bond starting around the wicket to Steve Waugh. There's a big shout, but it's going to be difficult to get a leg before decision from around the wicket. That ball will probably be pitching outside leg stump. Shane Bond charging in. That one's short, but Steve Smith has backed away and cut it through point for 4. Well, that's a nice shot from Steve Waugh. He's good off his hip and he's whipped that past mid on for 4. Well, that wasn't a bad ball by Southey, but Steve Waugh flicked it away through backward square leg. That's a nice shot from Steve Smith. He leant into that drive, through cover for 4. Australia's lead is past 100 now. Well, that's a beautiful ball by Chris Cairns. A big shout. What does the umpire say? Yes, he's out. Steve Smith is gone. That's a very important wicket for New Zealand. Steve Smith shoveling across just like Ponting, and he is also out. LBW to Cairns for 23, and Australia are 152 for 3. Oh, cries of exasperation from New Zealand. That was taken off the stumps, but 4 more. Slightly off the edge, down to third man, and that will be 4. Southey can't quite get a break. Slashed away in the air, and that will be 4 more, down to third man. And that will be tea on day 4. Australia are 187 for 3, effectively for 4, only 136 runs ahead. What a good test match this is. Let's have a look at the scorecard. 57 superb runs for Greg Chappell, who did have to retire hurt. We have heard from the Australian dressing room, and unfortunately Greg Chappell has suffered a fracture and is expected to miss 2 weeks. Steve Waugh is currently at the crease on 43 not out, looking very fluid, just like the first innings, and he is joined by his captain, Alan Border. New Zealand have taken the crucial wickets of Ricky Ponting and Steve Smith, but they will be desperate to take a couple more wickets after tea and get into the Australian tail. And that's worked out to square leg. And that will be 2 runs for Steve Waugh, and that's his 50. Well, a century in the first innings, a 50 in the second. What a batsman Steve Waugh is for Australia. Hadlee and New Zealand go up for a shout, but the umpire says no, that ball would have pitched outside leg stump. Oh, beautifully bowled by Hadlee. Extra bounce, and that's taken the edge of Alan Border's bat. Yes, he is out. Court McCullum bowled Hadlee for 18, and Australia are 196 for 4. Beautiful shot by Steve Waugh, just waiting for the bad ball and then putting it away. New Zealand have kept Gilchrist quiet so far. That's been edged away, and that will be 4. First boundary for Gilchrist. Oh, Hadlee the hero has done it. He's broken through Steve Waugh, bowled him neck and crop. Steve Waugh is out, bowled Hadlee for 62. What a wicket for New Zealand. And Australia are 219 for 5. Gilchrist is such an important wicket for New Zealand. An hour of him at his best could be fatal. He swept that one hard. That's raced away to the boundary for 4 more. How's Vettori going to respond? Tosses it up and Gilchrist swings this one away past Williamson for another 4. Oh, that was a nice quick delivery from Bond. Vettori starts a new over. Tosses this one up. Gilchrist sweeps again. It's a no ball and it's another 4. It's a little inside edge from Warren down to fine leg for another 4. That's hit out through the offside. They'll be looking for 2 so that Gilchrist can keep the strike against Vettori. Oh, Warren's going to have to be quick. Oh, that's out. That must be out. What does the umpire say? Yes. Yes, Shane Warne run out for 11. Australia 249 for 6. Well, if you missed it, Warne took a spectacular catch yesterday, running faster than I've ever seen, but he couldn't quite do it then, could he? All right, Gillespie on strike to Shane Bond. That's a short ball and a top edge hook shot. Is that going to be caught down there? No, that's gone all the way for 6. Last ball of the over. Gilchrist might be looking for a single. He's punched it in the gap, but that's going to run away for 4. Perhaps New Zealand won't mind that. This will probably be the last over of the day, and New Zealand have Gillespie on strike. He sweeps, and that one's raced away for 4. And that's the end of play on day 4. What a fascinating session and day of Test match cricket. Australia have made it to 269 for 6, 218 runs ahead. Let's have a look at the scorecard. A wonderful battle between bat and ball in this innings. 57 for Chappell earlier today before he was first to retire hurt. And yes, we have heard he will be out for 2 weeks with a fracture. 62 very fluent runs by Steve Waugh until he was undone by a brilliant off-cutter by Richard Hadlee. And Adam Gilchrist looking excellent at the end of the day. 35 not out. He will hold the key for Australia looking to build their lead and extend it to something that they can bowl New Zealand out for. For New Zealand, Richard Hadlee has been outstanding. He's already taken 10 wickets in this Test match, and he will be the key for them tomorrow as well. 1 wicket also for Cairns and 1 for Shane Bond. So Australia lead by 218 runs heading into the final day. You feel like any of the 3 results are still possible in this match. What a great Test match this has been so far. That's it from us. Do join us tomorrow for the final day, and bye for now.